Am I the asshole? For not wanting to let my autistic brother lice with me and my husband? Edit: when I checked this post on my break at work, and I wasn't expecting so many responses in such a short time. I really appreciate all your opinions and suggestions on what to do. I won't change my decision, but I'll try to somehow help my mom. I'll try to convince her to go to therapy first and maybe we'll talk it out. I don't know if I'll be able to cut them from my life, they're still my family. But if nothing changes, I'll keep it at the minimum. Edit 2: yes, I now know there's a mistake in the title. It should be live not lice. I don't know how to change it, and thank you for forgiving my bad English, it's not my first language. But at least I find out what lice means. Not the asshole. I've heard of some thoughtless wedding gifts, but your mom takes the cake by trying to gift you the problem she created. She didn't even wait until after the honeymoon. Any chance she's tried pawning him off on your sisters previously to no avail, and now you're her last chance to wash her hands of him? Your mom didn't do right by your brother, with you and your sisters being collateral damage. I don't know where he falls on the spectrum, but it doesn't sound like she helped him learn how to thrive. Instead of working towards a solution, she's trying to drop him at your door and bailing. It sounds like she has no long-term plan, which means this is going to keep escalating. Prepare to put up whatever barriers you need to for you and your husband to survive the oncoming mess. Not the asshole. You can tell the family members that are on her side that they can take care of your brother. Not the asshole. Autistic or not, if you never teach someone discipline, they'll grow up to be a brat. Autism is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. You must understand he has autism as the most bullshit excuse to condone bratty behavior. Your brother grew up with an enabler of a mother, and now he doesn't know how to be a proper adult, and that's her fault. Your mom has probably realized the kind of person she let your brother grow up to be, and now she doesn't want to deal with the consequences of her actions. You don't owe your mom or your brother anything. Your mom made her bed, now she has to lie in it. Not the asshole. Do not let him live with you under any circumstances. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Plus, it takes 2 yeses in a marriage to do something like this. So, even if you change your mind, if your husband isn't on board, it is still a no. Not the asshole. Both for not wanting to take on the obligation and for the fact your mother tried to spring this on you. If somebody is going to take care of your brother, your mother needs to ask, rather than present it to her target as a fait accompli. Your next steps may be mean. If your mother shows up at the door with your brother and a pile of suitcases, don't open the door and send them on their way. Not the asshole. That is something that needs to be a choice, not an ultimatum. Your post doesn't reference his level of support need, but wouldn't be fair for your mother to assume he will live with any of you. This is something that requires a full family discussion if he has high enough support needs that he is unable to live independently. I have autism, peace sign, can't do dishes because the feeling of wet food remnants on the plates gives me sensory issues, even with gloves, but I am more than capable of doing laundry, cleaning the floors, dusting, etc. And no matter how affected you are by your autism, it is not going to render someone incapable of picking up after themselves. I've met people from all across the spectrum. Some of them are incapable of living alone. But they can at least still keep their clothes off the floor or bring their dishes to the kitchen sink. Not the asshole. Autism is not an excuse to fuck with other people's lives. Not the asshole. It was your parents' choice to have children, not yours. He is not your responsibility, and it's wrong for your mother to automatically assume she can push his care onto you. If those family members are so bothered, then they can take him for a few years each, taking turns to care for him. I say this as a parent of 3 neurodiverse children. Not the asshole. As you said, your brother is not your responsibility. Not the asshole. I get that it may be hard work for your mom and she may want a break, but you have no responsibility to house or care for him, and it is incredibly selfish and entitled for your mom to assume you would, AITA, without consulting either you or your husband. Tell any family members calling you selfish that they are free to offer to take him in. Why is this even a debate? The selfish a-holes who want you to take on all their burden are gaslighting you. Everyone with common sense and who isn't gaining by dumping responsibility on you are telling you the truth. Of course not the asshole. Your husband agrees with you, that is all that matters. End of story. Not the asshole. I have a relative whose mom died when she was not even 3. My mom and siblings tried to support her as much as possible, but she ended up being an ungrateful, spoiled brat. Several years ago, my mom tried to convince me to take her with me. I asked her what she was going to do because I am not paying laziness. She said that she could do housework knowing that I hate it. I saw the problems. She is lazy, she won't find another job. She won't put up with my mess, and then she would complain that I'm exhausting her. On top of that, she doesn't speak the local language and I don't trust her around my husband. We had a big fight, everyone said I was wrong. A couple of years later she tried the same with one of my sisters, then my sister, who complained a lot about how wrong I was, didn't take her either. Lesson learned: people who are tell you to do it, if wheels turn they won't do it either. Complain about it, it's easier. If they convince you, saves them trouble. Not the asshole. Your mother's children are her responsibility, not yours. You have no obligation to take care of him at all. Your mother is hoping to ship him off to you, probably now realizing just how much she fucked up in parenting him. You need to let her know that she will be the one to suffer the consequences of her actions or lack thereof in this case, and you will not be the one to sacrifice your life to correct her mistakes. On a separate note, although you have no obligation at all, as an autistic person myself, I do feel sympathy for your brother and the neglect he has essentially faced. I hope your family are able to get him some help and support one day. Not the asshole. Don't do it. My parents bullied me into caring for them because I had the most money. It cost me everything, including my marriage. Do not give in. Not the asshole. I would go low contact or no contact if she tries to push it anymore, and be sure to never ever give a spare key to your parents, cause they will try to just have him move in with no permission otherwise, given how entitled your mother seems to be. In the end you will live with your husband. If he supports you, you'll be fine. Your mom is way out of line to think she is running everyone's lives even after you left the nest. I feel bad for your brother, but it's not your burden unless you want him. I will just cut the family off. How selfish of your mom. I had cut my family off at Huts in the beginning, but for my own well-being it's the best.